3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? This is Harold.
This is Rivers.
And today we're going to talk about
hotels.
So, Rivers, how is your first time enjoying the Chinese hotel?
I mean, it's pretty nice. There are many similarities with the hotels in the USA, and there are a little bit of differences, but I'd say overall it's been a pretty nice experience.
So, is there anything that you feel like extremely different compared with America?
Well, one big difference is free water bottle refills. So, as many of you know, in the US, the water bottles and all of the snacks that come with the hotels when you first check in and use them, they cost money. If you even touch a package of snacks or water, you get charged, and if you want more, you have to buy more. It is not free. However, in the Chinese hotels, if I drink a water, if I eat some crackers, they get refilled every day for free.
Wow, yeah, I remember that's what happened in America. But I do remember there is one hotel that we've been in, or maybe two. There's a refrigerator where it's free soft drinks, right? There gotta be some. I think that's more high-end hotels.
Yeah, I think that's possible at some hotels, but maybe it just depends on the brand of hotel. But for the most part, from my experience, you have to pay for it. So.
Wow, because for most Chinese hotel, I would say for the Atour, Yaduo, right? The hotel that you chose, it's a pretty high-end hotel. So it got more than just water. It gave us the snacks,
the tea,
right? But for the most hotels, I would say they would supply 2 bottle water. That's for free every day. And remember the hotel in Hong Kong when you try to get a refill of water?
Oh, right.
They say you have to pay for an extra one if you want it.
Okay.
But most of the part is free. So yeah, I would say that's a pretty nice thing. What else?
Yeah. Another thing. So let's go to the bathroom. So, in the showers in the Chinese hotels, the floor of the shower generally has a unique style compared to the showers in American hotels. The floor is a little bit elevated in the middle, and then on the outer part of the shower, it's there's a divot which allows the water to go through and drain into the drains. I think that's a very efficient design, so you're not standing in your own dirt. And I've never seen this in an American hotel ever.
What is American hotel's bathroom? I think it's almost a tub, right?
Yeah. It's actually usually a tub. Just a tub with the shower
that's the
head.
same.
Right,
the shower head is the same,
right.
but American mostly a tub, but Chinese is just a flat floor.
Right. But have you noticed how on the outside of the shower, like the outline, there's the
somewhere lower, a little bit lower to get the water.
Yeah, right.
Well,
I think that's a very useful design.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that is true, but also sometimes I would say when I go to a more high-end hotel in China, they would provide a tub.
A tub.
Right? So for you to get a lot of water in there, if that's a really, really expensive hotel. So maybe that's kind of something it is a more high-end thing to have a tub, and it's a low, and it's more easy to implement with just a flat ground. That's you don't need to buy a tub, right?
So maybe in China, so the tub would be
more expensive.
That's the opposite for hotels in the US. The tub signals that it's more of a lower status hotel or whatever, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
And so one more thing that's kind of funny. So hotels in China, for some reason, they have windows in the bathrooms. Every bathroom I've seen in a Chinese hotel, there's a window. And I just can't understand why. Tell me, why is this?
I'm afraid that I cannot give you an answer. I'm not going to give you a textbook answer, okay? So my understanding is, so for the old time, there is, if you go to a very old and ugly hotel, I bet there's not a window. It's gonna be very ugly, but it's gonna be no window. But the hotel gonna be not so cool, something like it's an old hotel. Okay, let's get back on track. Don't worry about this. Okay, so if this is old hotel, there's no glass or window. But as they go modern, they implement this window. So if this is the fact, so I believe this is a signal for like a higher class, like a westernized. You know what I mean? Like it's a signal for something that's cool. And if you ask me why this could be something that's super cool,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a glass, so it's not just an ordinary wall, right? So it's funnier. And most of this kind of design allow you to not able let the people outside. I'm honest, I cannot explain it.
Yeah.
This is a little bit like weird.
Yeah, I mean, I have a thought that it might be because they want the hotel to look more open. Like, if you can see the inside of the bathroom, it maybe creates a larger like view of the hotel, maybe.
Yeah.
And I also read something online that the hotel windows could be for looking at, like, if you hire a woman or like a prostitute to come into your room, you can like watch her when she's showering. I don't know. That's just something I read online.
Okay. That's totally weird.
Sure.
I think if they designed typically
I
for
know,
that,
I
I think
know,
that's
I know.
more. But the first thing you will mention, I think, is
Right,
very likely because, it's kind of like you can see through the whole design of the hotel, make it more high classes.
Yeah, but it's bad for privacy, especially if you're like staying with people who you're not so familiar with. And you just
Or two guys, like two women. I mean, two women may be better, but two guys. Right? Yeah,
So,
I agree. That's like, but also let's come to another topic that you also talked with me about the privacy thing, how the house cleaner just enter your room without really caring about what is on the sign.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. So I think twice now, if I put the do not disturb tag on the doorknob, the cleaners will still come into the room. They'll take off that do not disturb tag, put it back inside, and come into the room. Like in my hotel in Shanghai, I was taking a shower. I had the do not disturb thing on, and then I hear knocking, knock, and she says something, and I'm like, no. I still hear the knocking. I'm like, no. And then she tries to open the door, and I like rush out of.
No, just continue.
I rush out of the shower. I put my towel on, and I'm like, I go to the door, and I'm like, no. And that finally got her away, but it's just, I just don't understand it. And then in my hotel in Suzhou here, every day, even if I have the do not disturb tag on the door, they come in and they go into the room and disturb the room. Can you explain what this might be? I don't get it.
It's just they are not, educated in the way that they pay attention to people's privacy.
Really?
That's only the one thing that I don't think. Like, I would say, like, my parents, they don't pay no attention to my privacy. There are nothing that they cannot enter my door without knocking. There's nothing like that. So they can just enter my door. That's like my parents. It's kind of like Chinese. So you can see a lot by just saying like my relationship with my parents. This is kind of like a social norm. Like,
So it's more of a cultural thing.
yeah, it's more of a cultural thing. But regarding, like, I think this should be trained. I mean, that's a hotel thing, right?
Yeah.
They should be
I
trained
mean,
not to enter a door when they say that.
I explicitly, like, most people either lock their door, and also not many people actually put that do not disturb tag outside the door. I feel like I'm the only one. I guess people just
don't care. They don't
right.
care that much. That's actually something really funny because maybe people don't have sex in the morning. You know, that's also something I actually don't know. Like in China, like they don't like have. So it's very unlikely that you open the door and people are having sex with each other. So if that's not the case, it's not a big deal, right? I can just enter, and for them, they have to clean like dozens of rooms. So as they gradually they just okay. I want to do my work. I don't want to just like knock. They're not efficient. So, but that's, I think, is a sign for not educated enough for the importance, not westernized. Should I say it's a cultural thing, or you put it in another way? But quite annoying, right?
Yeah, it's a little annoying, but at least my room is always clean, even if I don't want it to be. And the waters are refilled, the snacks are refilled, even if I didn't ask for it. So
Yeah.
it's nice that they care about good service. So,
Yeah, that's because you put a very good hotel. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah, if I just give a general understand, like a description of my experience of American hotel, I don't know why we should put it in this way, because I mean, you are supposed to be the guy who talks about American hotel. I'm supposed to be, but that's actually funny because because from my experience, I think the most one factor that for all the Chinese people to know about American hotel would be, I think the service in American hotel, like the standard of American hotel, is very uniform or average. It's not like derived large. If I enter a hotel, it's gonna be good. I mean, I choose a hostel a lot of time. Even the hostel, I would say that it's not that disgusting to take a bath in the bathroom, in a public bathroom, right? However, if you come to China, it's very it's the standard change a lot between one hotel to
There's
another.
There's a lot of variance.
Variation, yeah, there are a lot of variance. Because I remember in Shanghai is a big city. I choose a hostel. Like that's the first time I've been to Shanghai and I choose a hostel. And during that time, I was like, it was very cheap. It was like 50 yuan. So that's like $4, $6, $7 a night, right? That's like super cheap. And I got that. I got a hotel and I live in. Oh my God. Like all the people live there are kind of, I would say, worker, like a construction worker, stuff like that.
Okay.
And that's not a problem.
Right.
I feel like they kind of want to kill me at night, but I don't really care that much. The problem would be the bathroom, kind of just disgusting. It's like, oh my God, it's super dark and the you cannot even shit there. It's super disgusting. So that's like something that I really just feel like, okay, if you come to China, you have to find a good hotel, because if you spend you remember the Shenzhen, the hotel with
Right.
That's something that not that like interesting to stay in, right? Like if that's, I mean, I would say like 90% of hotel in China would be like that. Only the 10% more expensive one, which you stay, like what you stay. So that's, I think, the most important difference.
So from your experience, and also I guess this is true, that the quality variance in the US, it's a lot less than the quality variance in China. And I think that's because of the major hotel chains have a monopoly on the hotels, and they have a standard of quality that they have to match throughout each like chain of hotels. Like there's Hilton, there's Marriott, and various other chains that are that maintain a standard throughout all of their hotels. And like think about McDonald's. They have a policy for each chain to maintain this certain qualities, like certain quality standards. So I think that's the same for hotels in the US, but maybe there's less chains in China, which opens up room for more variance.
Yeah, and especially is because if the monopoly style of the hotel in China, if there was once, because of the social structure, right? There was a monopoly side. That's like really, really ugly side. And now only the self-owned, like the capitalism organized hotel brand, they are the one who would rather put more money to the standard, to the decoration. So that's kind of the opposite. So the monopoly type, like the state-owned or the country-owned or the like old-fashioned hotel, they're like shit. They're like super old, super ugly, and really they don't have a glass in the bathroom because they don't even have a glass in the whole hotel room. So that's like the case. So but only this couple of years, there are more players enter the market to just try to change the situation. That's when the things start to get better.
But why would the state hotels like have bad quality? Like because I know that, okay, let's just say Chinese infrastructure is very good.
Yeah.
So why not state-owned like hotels be very good too? You know?
I think maybe that's like my wrong put of word. How do I supposed to say the state-owned? Because what I'm trying to say is state-owned is like before the 1980. That's like before the reform started taking place in China, and before that kind of place, the development in China is kind of low.
Yeah.
And there's not that much development. So that period of time, the hotel are monopoly by the government, and since the economy is not good at all, so
Right.
the design of it is like not as Western or as well decorated, constructed as nowadays.
So maybe those old hotel chains just kind of refuse to update or modernize. Well, maybe not refuse, but just lack the ability to modernize. And they just don't care as much because all of the other like private sector hotels are taking more space in the market and they have room to improve maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Maybe they just bankrupt,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
cannot
yeah.
operate
That's it,
anymore
right,
because
right.
the time had changed. It's become more and more fashionable thing about traveling. Things are changing a lot in China. The social society is developing a lot,
Right.
and it's hard to really like have a very good summary of how things has been changing. But there has been a lot of changing, a lot of construction. So things are changing a lot. So that's where the variation would come from. Because if things are not changing that rapidly, things are all like the old things and the new things, they don't change that much. Like in US, the hotels like 10 years ago compared with the 10 years before. But in China, 10 years before the hotel and nowadays the hotel, they are like super different. So I guess that's a sign for the development of Chinese economy.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening to us talking about the hotel series, about the Chinese and the American hotel. And please
you
remember
enjoyed
to
this American's perspective in China.
and subscribe stuff and
Yeah.
hope you like it.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.